we are live with another show, another daily show, unexpected show. But we are here nonetheless to have a nice conversation. There are some things that we can talk about that we need to talk about. Some things that some Newcastle affiliated reporters are reporting, um, and we can have a discussion on that. Didn't know what we're gonna do, so we're just gonna have a daily show and discuss. I messaged the Mighty Win see if he was available. I know it's early for most people, so he's the only one that's jobless, that's wifeless, that's kidless. So he's always ready. How you doing, Mighty Win? I don't hear you, man. Oh, I muted you because of the intro music, but you can unmute yourself though, um, if you don't mind. But hit the like button, folks. Come on, very important that you do that. Please hit the like button, and we shall be able to. Did you unmute yourself?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. There you go.
There you go.
All right, how you been, man?
What do I always say? The best ability
It's availability, and
is availability. That's the one.
we're gonna talk about one of those
I
tonight.
might I might not be as good as Gary or as good as
No,
Paul.
Gary's good. No, Gary's good, man. I didn't even ask Gary, so
That
he's
no
good.
no, but I'm saying it's like Callum Wilson.
Oh
When I'm available.
yeah. You know what? Let's switch to the darker. There you go, to the NUFC talk TV, because Mighty Win says he doesn't like graffitis. He's
No,
he's an old guy, man. He's an old guy, man. Unbelievable. But well, look, a few things to talk about. Well, first, Luke Edwards reporting that Eddie Howe has no desire to leave Newcastle United to become England's manager and remains extremely happy at the club. That's what Luke Edwards is reporting based on the information that he's been gathering around Newcastle United. And that has heavily come out in the last probably day or so because your boy Carsley did a horrible job. And it tells you how football is, really, because nobody was talking about. Everybody was kind of happy with Carsley until he lost the game, and that's how football fans work. That's how football is. He lost one game against Greece. I mean, you can say they're not the greatest, but we're not gonna get into the England stuff. Regardless, the Eddie Howe rumor started coming off. And well, look, Edwards putting out a report saying that Eddie has zero desire to go to England. You've been saying that. You've been saying it, really. I mean, because you believe everything Eddie Howe tells you. So naively enough, you've been saying that, which makes you right at this point, that he has no desire to leave Newcastle. That he likes training people and stuff, which is also something that most managers that work on a weekly basis, on a daily basis rather, they like
Well,
doing
I
that.
think the key is young managers. When you get a bit older, you can, I suppose, get a bit tired of getting up and getting changed and going out on the training pitch. But when you're young, when you've still got, you know, barrels of ambition, which we know that Eddie has, uh, yeah, as he said many times in various very deep interviews, he gets his kicks from improving players, watching players improve. That's what gives him his biggest thrill. Probably even more than winning on a match day.
Well, that is understandable. However, how managing a squad of elite players can be. And I'm sure the English squad or the England job is not a low salary. Probably one of the highest paid out there. Uh,
Not really. No, not compared to
you think he will get paid less at
other
Newcastle
club
than?
jobs. I, I think for him to go, they would obviously have to. pay him the same, but I don't think anybody's ever been paid. Does anybody know what Eddie Howe's on?
Why do we know players and we don't know managers? You should know.
Well, I've never actually seen it. Let me just have a look here, see if I can find out. Bear with
Yeah,
me.
that would be definitely good. If we can see players what they get paid,
Bear
we
with
should be able
me,
to see.
Toy.
I guarantee you, he's probably on 100 a week or something,
Um,
maybe. And we see the comments.
oh, you'd be on all of that. Be on all of that. That's 35 million a year. That.
Man, 35.
What?
35 million?
I'm saying £100,000 a week is only 5 million a year,
Yeah.
and I'm pretty sure he'll be on a lot more than that. The thing is, he's signed an extension to his contract, and nobody anywhere has said what that is, what the extension, how long it's for. Eddie,
It'll be interesting to see. 4 million says Gary. 4 million. So 4 million is what would that be? Let me see. Let me get my calculator.
4 million would be 80,000.
Which it wouldn't necessarily surprise me. I think
Right, according to what I'm looking at, it's 4.68, which is 90 grand a week.
yeah, that would be about what he'd make. But that's 90 grand a week. Oh my god, man. That's unbelievable that amount of
I'm
money.
not sure, I think he.
No, he's not the highest person as far as the team is concerned. That's for sure. Nobody talks about managers, you see. But I mean, I guarantee you Pep is on 150, 200.
Oh, Ansu.
Yeah.
I would think Pep would be. Well, let's see. I mean, this is from Triple Eight Sport. So let's just go on the same site and see.
It'll be really good to see that.
Pep.
Jordan 2 for Life says 5 years has Eddie left on his contract. Um
Is it a 5 years rolling?
Not sure. I I can't remember.
30.
Go on.
According to this, Pep is on. This cannot be right. 30 what? 30, nearly 32 million a week.
Nah, a week. Nah,
That's impossible.
impossible. That's impossible. It's probably a year though. I would believe it if you think about it.
Man City. Somebody's got Man City's.
That's up no, but that's like six. That's like 600 grand a week, man. That over 600 grand a week. That's
No,
a lot, bro.
they're saying they're not saying 31 million a year.
Yeah, but that's not right though.
It's saying 31 million a week, man.
Yeah, but that's
All
not.
right, here we go. Weekly salary 378,000
Yeah,
a week, which is
that,
19,700, 19.7 million a year.
that is proper right there. That money, man. Ooh, my goodness, that is unbelievable.
That's a bit
But
of dosh.
but I get well. You can probably look up how much Southgate got paid for England and deduce, and that
Yeah.
he might get around that if he go. Which, by the way, we're sharing what Luke Edwards came out and reported that Eddie Howe has no desire to leave Newcastle despite being on the England shortlist, um, and so that's going to have to make them go somewhere else as far as new manager is concerned. And I know a lot of these rumors are coming out again because England lost the game, and that's just kind of how football works, as I was saying earlier, because nobody really was saying anything like that. Although they probably should have, because he's just an interim coach. He's not really to me he's not a name for England. Uh,
5 million a year is
for
what Southgate left.
Okay, so there you go. So I mean, if you want to get, so that's about what Eddie gets paid. So
So this is England manager. This was then, by the way. This was on the 12th of July. Um, compared to club managers, that would make him this was Southgate, would make him the 12th highest paid manager in the world, behind the likes of Arnie Slot, Luis Enrique at PSG, etc., etc.
Hmm. Yep. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting stuff. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's. I mean, I guess it's definitely good news that he doesn't want to leave. But football is cruel as well as we just mentioned. And if things don't go well,
Well,
you
it
know.
is. I mean, it's an old saying, but there's no loyalty in football.
But I'm saying if things don't go well with him this year, we don't make it to Europe. Then they're gonna kick him to the
Yeah,
curb.
yeah. Well,
Which
we had this entire conversation, did we not, earlier on this season, when we were given the pros and cons. Well, sorry, this was when Southgate resigned, and I said there was a whole lot of pros for Eddie to leave the tour and go to England. Uh, Not the least of which is because he knows at Newcastle his job is very much week by week. A few bad results and you can be out on your ear, albeit with a nice big payoff. Um, but at England, if he went to England, he's getting what we now know, just checked, now know to be, comparable salary. Nowhere near the pressure, really, on a week by daily basis.
no pressure. Are you kidding me, man? It's all kinds of pressure in England. Are you kidding me? That's like the most pressurized teams you can ever manage.
His job would be safe until at least 2026.
Yeah, but nah, I
You
don't
know,
care that you don't.
and he's gonna qualify. You know, with the way the qualification groups are angled now, he's always going to qualify. So there's no pressure in qualifying per se. Uh, yeah, yeah. But the main argument that I put is how if England, according to Eddie, by the way, England have never been. England have never called on him.
No,
All they did was ask
but
for job applications, and he didn't apply.
right, but we're not gonna
So
say
so, but what I've said is, if England were to come calling and say, Eddie, we want you, your country needs you, well, he's a very patriotic person. That might sway him because what it would also do is, bear in mind, if they did go calling and he said no, is he ever going to get the chance again?
well, that's the thing. Whether you burn
That's
bridges,
that's the thing. Is he ever going to get the chance again?
mm, well,
So that would, if I'd been in Eddie's shoes, that would probably be the big thing on my mind, because eventually the pinnacle of any English football manager's career, has to be to manage England. And if you turn them down once, will you ever get a second chance?
and people will say, well, I don't care about that. As long as we don't lose them, which that's fine. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
some fans will care. If you care about England, which I still don't understand how you guys don't care as much as one would think. But that's anybody's choice. To follow whoever. Um, but in a personal note, this is a big deal. If it's a big deal because if you turn down England, can they, like you said, are they going to come back? And that's the biggest question of them all. And the problem is not so much that though, because he knows at this point that well, look, if it is true what Luke Edwards is saying, then it is what it is. He's not going anywhere. Um, and again, I remind people that might be joining in just now that Luke Edwards said that Eddie Howe has turned all possible doors closed of going to England. And so if that's true, well, it is what it is. But do you think that Eddie, in his mind, might have thought about it, might have said, you know what,
Oh, undoubtedly, he will have thought about it.
you know,
I don't think
because
there's any doubt at all about that.
what if he says, "Is my job?" What if he asks himself, or maybe in the conversation with Mad Dog, and they're like, "Well, what do you think? I mean, do you think our job is secured here? Do you think they're gonna?" Because they're people, the protagonists, as much as they deny it, they do listen to rumors. They do listen to the fans. It's impossible not to. Uh, so can they? Could he have ever doubted maybe the possibility of going? And maybe those Germany statements. Remember, maybe that was a time when he was thinking about it
Germany statement. Not sure what you mean.
when he was in Germany in the preseason.
Oh! You mean when Mitchell was introduced?
Well, when they asked him, he said, "Well, I'm
Yeah,
happy."
yeah. As long as I'm happy. Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, and of course that was at the very time we had all of these conversations before, because this was when applications were being accepted by the FA for the England job.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, but I mean, even right now, Eddie does.
I'm just looking on this new system, Chris, and I'm for to see us on screen. I'm looking to one side the same way you're looking to one side. No, it's gonna if I move me camera over there.
Oh, well, that's the irrelevant news. Sorry, folks.
So
We
so
interrupted the good discussion.
well, I think it's impolite not to be looking at the viewers, i.e., looking at the camera.
Nah,
So
I was actually looking at the side because I'm doing something else. But
and then if I go over there, now you see
okay,
I'm looking
make your changes without announcing them.
straight
These
ahead.
people could care less.
So
Uh,
I was worried that the
it
background
says
might
so.
go on.
Listen, your mic got to turn it up. Turn up your mic because apparently you're
Yeah,
low.
because I'm further away from the mic now, and
Not
that's an immovable object,
no.
which is the thing that's going. Can you hear me okay now?
I can't. Well, the folks will have to decide that. I can hear you, but I'm assuming Jordy was talking about the whole show, not just now. So, uh, yeah, Wayne, turn your mic up. Yeah, everybody's saying that. So,
One two one two one
we'll
two.
see if they can hear you better now. Hopefully, they can.
Yeah,
Um,
moving a bit.
get in frame, man. The air.
Right now.
Well, there you go. The Aaron Hour is in the chat as well. Welcome, mate. And Jordan Two for Life says, Chris, England play 95% of the matches in London. They don't care about the Northeast football, hence club before country. Well, I mean, that's
There's Gary in the chat, man. You see
yeah,
it? There was talk that he was tasked to get European placement by the PIF. That makes sense.
hmm Welcome,
I would personally be wanting Champions League, not just Europe. But there you go.
welcome, Aaron. The Aaron Hour. Welcome to the chat, mate. First time I'm seeing you, so we're gonna highlight
Yep.
your comment there. Welcome, matey. Um, well, I get everybody that doesn't have to like England, but to me, country before anything in life, not just sport. But I'm just an American. But that's what got us independence, anyway. Anyways, that's a cheap shot. But yeah,
Uh,
well,
for a Peruvian, it was an
uh,
extremely cheap shot.
well, hey, listen, I'm American and Peruvian, man. I got my passport to prove it. I got my blue passport. Um, well, we'll have to see. I mean, I don't think anything is written in stone because if Eddie doesn't feel right about something, he will certainly look to to make a move. I would assume. I mean, I don't know. In these situations, we've never been in a situation where Eddie has been wanted by other clubs. And I know you brought
Mm.
up the idea that he's going to go to Manchester United once he's up. Um, but I just I don't see that. I think the only place, just because he's English, would be England, because that also tells you where what the levels are as far as English-born managers are. is. With all the due respect, there's not really one top dog. You can say Eddie is the best.
Well, I mean, this is the other thing, of course. Right at this moment in time, we have got so many foreign managers in the Prem that back in the day when the England job came up, there was a host of candidates. Good candidates. Invariably, the right candidate never got the job. By the way, because there was some great England manager, great could have been great England managers who didn't fit the old staid gentleman of the FA's rule book or protocol book. Why Brian Clough never managed England is beyond almost every football fan that's ever lived. But he, because he was too brash and too outspoken for the hierarchy. But
Uh,
today, if you are looking at potential candidates, English candidates for the job, you're looking at Potter. I mean, there was even talk about Sean Dyche, for God's sake. Sean Dyche, Harry Potter, and Eddie are the only three names that have ever been kind of seriously put about, unless we go back down the route of a foreign coach, which I'm dead against.
your mic has gotten better, faintly better. So if you can turn it up more, I guess turn it up more. Um,
That's as far as it'll go.
well, can you not pull it closer to your mouth? These mics are supposed to be on your mouth, by the way, not just far
Well,
away.
yeah, I can go closer to the mouth, but then I'm out of shot because I can't reach the camera.
You you're gonna have to move that mic arm closer to you. Um, but Colton says, yeah, it's his accent, Chris. I'm not sure you're talking about Mighty Win. Um,
What
but
if I do that?
well, now we can hear you
Oh
better.
no, I'm still out of shot. So do a bit panning.
Um,
Sorry about all this technical shit, folks. We're just getting used to this new software that we've got.
yeah, it's going to be a very interesting topic. And Jordan for Lives is how and Ashworth no chance exactly. So I never understood why Mighty Win came up with this Manchester United thing. Um, but I will agree
There you go, man.
on one particular topic that probably if Manchester United comes from Eddie, he might be persuaded. He might be persuaded to go. Um, he might be persuaded to go, which is unfortunate.
Despite all of the alleged warring that was going on between him and Dan
No,
Ashworth.
no, no, but so I'm saying is I don't think they will. I do believe in that. By the way, I don't think Ashworth will ever call him because he doesn't like him, in my opinion. From everything that I've seen, I think there was an epiphany. I didn't think that Ashworth wanted Andy Howe to be part of his squad or be told as a DOF this guy needs to be a recruit or whatever. I need to have my guy in there, type thing. So that's why I never think it's going to happen. But if Manchester United did indeed come for him, he will go. Despite, I think Eddie will go to Manchester United despite not getting along with Ashworth. But Ashworth will not call Eddie Howe because of what's happened. I That's my personal belief, but we'll never know the truth, and I don't think it will happen anyway. So because
And I
Ashworth,
don't think, because I think we'll be winning the Champions League in 2027 or something. So
okay, well, hey, it
there
might.
you go.
We might. Let's move on to a different topic. If we want. Transfer news live. People don't like them, but they do got 2.5 million, and they always have, sharing transfer news, etc. And they came up with this, which again, it has a base, it has a foundation. It's not just out of the blue sky. That Newcastle might sell 32-year-old striker Callum Wilson in January to facilitate a move for a new forward, according to them. And I think the Football Insider as well backing that up, which Football Insider can be dodgy. Um, but it's still, don't look at the source, don't look at the news, look at what is being said. Does it make sense that it could happen? Of course it does. Of course, it could happen. It's not the same as saying, well, yeah, anything can happen. Like, I don't know, Gordon signing a contract and then wanting to leave in the winter. Yeah, anything can happen. However, there's a solid foundation to believe to say that Callum Wilson could be sold simply because the club might say, we're not fake fans like the Mighty Win. We actually care about the club, and we put the club in front of the player. And we got him. He's not. He hasn't been doing it. He scores goals, but irrelevant goals, not really important.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Not,
whoa.
not really relevant to the makeup of the season. He's not somebody you can trust. He's not somebody you can have. He's not somebody you can count on. So it's like yesterday when we're doing the quiz show. We had people that's supposed to come on that gave us a word we're going to be there, and they didn't show up. You can't count on them. They're Callum Wilson to us. Gary showed up. He had a particular personal matter. He still showed up. Mighty Win, you showed up. So it's the same thing. You have people you can count on. By the way, Steve he couldn't join because of uh, the link wasn't working. But other people that didn't show up. So that's the thing. You have people you can count on, and then you have people that might show up, might work for one time, and that's why you got to look at it as mighty win. So I know you think that Callum Wilson is Alan Shearer, but in reality, he's not.
Best I've seen since.
Exactly. You see, well, I'm just saying, man. You
When
have no,
available, he'll get us 10 goals this year,
yeah, but
and there won't be irrelevant goals.
what cup did he score in the final cup? Did he score in the FA Cup? What goals has he scored in the Carabao Cup that brought us to the finals? What important Premier League goal has he scored that pushed us up to what
Well,
goals did he score?
he scored 18 that got us in the Champions League.
Yeah, but you counted everybody's goals. You know,
No, he scored 18 that got us
yeah,
in the Champions League.
yeah, that was one season. What happened after? I'll give you that one, but you can't count on them after that. You can't mighty win. You cannot.
You can,
No, man.
because the alternative is to sell him for a pittance, which is all we'll get, a pittance, and try to replace his quality for the same amount of money, and it can't be done. We paid 10 plus add-ons for a Sula. We'll be lucky to get that for Callum Wilson. And you tell me who you'd rather have in the side, a fit Callum Wilson or a fit Asula.
Alfredo Sula.
Shut up, man.
Alfredo Sula. Because I know I can count on Osula, and I can count him to do the same. As soon as he gets the ball, he goes right to goal, and he will try to score. He will do that non-stop, and that's what I want from my
Aye,
striker.
well,
And I know that if Callum Wilson on a corner kick, he's tussling around, not even anything really happens. You have to look at the video 20 times to realize that his shoulder's out of socket, or his tit muscle is torn because he literally just, I don't know, fist bump somebody. Like, you can't count him.
we'll agree to differ.
No. But let's have a conversation. Let's have a conversation.
What I'm telling you is
Don't run away from the
when
conversation.
Callum Wilson's fit, he's probably the best striker we've got, and that includes Isak.
No, not a
Yeah,
single chance.
yeah.
You have a clear agenda against Callum Wilson.
I've got no agenda against
I mean,
him.
I'm sorry, not Callum Wilson, against Isak. You have a clear agenda. You don't like him
I've got no agenda against Isak
because,
either. I love
because
Isak.
you don't like graffitis. You see, look, my folks, Mighty Wayne didn't like this cover right here, this cover, because it's got a graffiti on it, and he takes it to heart. He's like, nah, because they're painting over walls that.
Vandalism. Why celebrate vandalism?
So and this is a cool highwayman, the little Newcastle dude in the back. Not a big deal, but the man is takes everything to heart and is old school and old minded. And
If he's painted it on his own house, fantastic. Love it. but I can guarantee you he hasn't.
Oh man, the
So if you're
chat.
not painted on your own house, why paint it on
Oh
somebody
yeah,
else's?
that's perfectly fine. However, like Brent is saying right there in the chat, bang on. When Callum Wilson is fit, and when are you going to realize
Yeah.
that it's not going to happen? Why do you not? I think you're treating Callum Wilson like a girlfriend that you don't care for no more, but you hate to see her with somebody else. And sometimes, man, you just gotta
And
let
I
go.
tell you what, you're not far off the truth there because I can just see what'll happen.
He's
We'll
gonna be
sell it. We'll
hurt.
we'll sell him to somebody like West Ham or Everton for 10 stupid million, and he'll go and get 20 goals for them because he'll not get injured for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Aye,
Well, let me tell you something, man. We got a poll up though.
and then it's too late.
So
Oh, you and your polls.
no, we're having a conversation. We got a poll up, and we put it up to the chat. Can we count on Callum Wilson to stay healthy? Yes, we can. No, we cannot. No, we cannot. Is currently on 94% of the voting.
Well, there you go. I'll add mine to that as well. So that should put it up to past 94.
See, you're trying to play games when
No,
you're
no, you can't count on him being fit.
when you're losing the conversation.
I'm not losing anything, man.
Newcastle United are supposed to be looking at the bigger picture, at the future. We're
Right?
supposed to be
So
getting.
go and buy an elite striker.
We're supposed to go into to be an elite club or working towards it. Well, you cannot do that with players that cannot stay fit and cannot count on.
I
Simple as that.
agree.
So why? So what is your problem with Callum Wilson, man? What has he got on you?
It's just I know what he can do.
Well, I know. Also know what he
You
can do.
know, but if
Can't-
we're going to be an elite club,
Yeah,
let's spend some money and go and buy another elite striker,
yeah, but you got to move on at some point. I
and
mean,
and and knock Callum Wilson down to third in the pecking order. I would rather let him go for free in the summer than let him go for 10 million or something in January.
That's a good analogy by infamous Short Billy says if you own a car that's in the shop as much as Wilson, you would have sold out and traded it in already. And that is a fact. You wouldn't say this car works, twice a year, so it's great. It's you can't.
But when
Because
it works, boy, do you pull the birds.
you forget all about that because what you're not taking in consideration is how unfair that is for Eddie Howe. Although Eddie Howe has come out.
Eddie Howe's probably the main protagonist in keeping him
Now
because
Eddie Howe.
he knows how good he is as well.
Yeah, but Eddie Howe has came out and defended Callum Wilson, telling that his mentality, this and that, evading the questions as to what the real answer should be, which is he can't stay healthy. I don't expect him to say that really because he's going to kill the player and probably he's there in the squad. So maybe at one
Listen,
point,
Callum Wilson's not a nugget.
uh,
Callum Wilson knows he's got fitness problems.
yeah, and but the problem is he needs to
And
understand.
and, and, and if the poll had been, can you count on Callum Wilson being fit, for 30 games a season? The answer to that is no. But if the option had been, would you have a Callum Wilson who's only fit for 15 games a season, when you know you're going to get 10 goals, would you keep that one? And that's the one I would keep.
You know what?
Especially if he was third striker, third option, when he's not going to be subjected to all of the playing strains and stresses anyway.
That's what he's been on these last 2 years. No stress. Isak has been the clear starter.
Isak's made of glass as well, man.
No, he's not. You cannot compare him to Callum Wilson. No way. You cannot compare Isak to Callum Wilson. See, that's what you're doing right there. Is showing your agenda against Isak and showing your pro agenda for Wilson because you simply don't like the way they both play. They are both strikers. They are both center forwards. They just play different. And by the way, I still don't understand what you really want and what you're really trying to say. How because you always say You were arguing with me the other day about Isak not creating his own shot, not helping out with the team. Callum Wilson is the type of striker that you will get zero help and zero creating his own shot. He definitely needs to be fed 24/7 like a little toddler. So unlike Isak, Isak might be having a slump, whatever. He's
Right.
still
Since Isak joined the club, and bear in mind he's only been here since summer 23. He missed 19 games that season. He missed 8 games he missed 19 games in the season when we got the Champions League. He missed 8 games last season, and you could argue that it was those 8 games that cost us Champions League. He's missed 4 games already. Oh, right. 2 separate injuries, a groin injury and a broken toe. Nine games. Sorry, 23, 24.
look when
2 groin injuries. He missed 12 games.
Well, let me tell you this.
He missed 12 games last season, not 8 games. He missed 12 games, both with 2 separate groin injuries. 30 days and 24 days. 106 days for a thigh problem the previous season.
How many?
And he's missed 5 games already this season.
Right.
So and how many games were played this season now? 9. 7 league, 2 cup, 9.
One of them. So
hang on, 9 games, and then say 45. So out of 99 games since he came, he's missed 27, 31, 36. So he's got a 1-3 record, less than 1-3 record.
yeah, you're just manipulating numbers then.
No. How can I put this on there?
No, well, not at the moment. But you're making it look like at those numbers good, and the dude is not available, man. You got at some point you gotta just stop looking at numbers and stats and look at what it is on the pitch. He's not performing. Now you look. Let me give you some stats. As you give me some stats, let me give you some stats. He joined Newcastle United in 2020-21. So he's been in Newcastle basically now 5 seasons.
He's been available for less than half the games.
Yeah,
he could have been available for. If you're talking about Callum Wilson,
his hamstrings are destroyed, by the way, because that's all he has for the most part. And missed in the very beginning 19 days, 7 days after, 56 days afterwards, 17 days, 48 days later on, 125 days with a calf injury, and then again 35.
We know all that.
Let me. I'm not going to count the 10 days of COVID because that's irrelevant. Then you got back to the hamstrings. Hamstring took a break for COVID, and then they came back quickly in 23, 24, missing 13 days. After that, 31 days. That's September 24th. He missed 13 days. Came back in October 7th. A month later, literally a month later, missed the hamstring injury, 31 days. And then he got the calf injury, 37 days. A chest injury for 64 days. That's the tit problem that he had. And then he fell ill for 11 days. He can't even stay. Not even, he's can't, I don't know what ill means, but, it could be a cold or anything like that. But he can't even catch a break, man. He gets everything. And then the last one, out of nowhere, nobody even knew what's happening. Somebody said, I think Brent said it in the chat, that he got injured on his day off, which is unbelievable. A back injury, now 85 days out. 85. And that happened throughout
if you look at his career since he joined Newcastle, he's been available for almost exactly half of the games that he should have been.
Let me tell you something.
And in those half games, he's got a better strike per minute ratio than Haaland has. So there you go.
Well, of course, he's played less games. What are you talking about? The more games you play, the lower your stats will be. But then again,
but the more games you play, the more goals you're going to score. Surely.
The old man here. No, but your percentage will be lower because you have more opportunities, and you're gonna, for the most part, fail.
I'm talking about goals per minute.
It's unbelievable, man. This guy is unbelievable. I'm telling you, he's trying to use stats in his favor, and he's failing miserably. Right there in the poll, 96% people voting for my choice. 4%,
Uh,
four. Not even
yeah,
people that like you, like
hey
George.
man, I voted for your. I voted for your percent.
Because you're trying to make a, you're trying to march. You're trying to do what they were doing in Newcastle the other day. What is it, March? But
Just
you're trying to protest.
put
You're
a
trying to
poll.
protest.
Put a poll. Just the simple poll. Would you sell Wilson for, let's say, 10 million? And I doubt you'll get 10 million because he's out of contract in the summer. Would you
But
sell Wilson for 10 million
the
in
point is,
December?
you know what the point is, Mighty Win, that you're not taking
That's the
consideration.
point. That's how that's how the conversation started.
Okay. No, but listen. First of all, you're not taking in consideration that it's unfair to Eddie. You say that Eddie, and you can take what Eddie says. I don't believe what people's take it 50-50. Because what is he going to say? No, this numpty is made of
No,
glass.
if
I
Eddie
can't.
wanted Callum Wilson out, he would have been out.
No. He's got a contract. What are you talking about? Who's going to buy an injured player? He was injured the whole season, the whole off season, the whole off season. If he would have gotten this back injury now, he would. You wouldn't see him.
He could have sold him in summer.
It would be like a torn ACL, man.
West Ham wanted him in the summer.
Okay, well, look. Another thing that you're not taking a look at is that by having an older player that's injury prone, you are shadowing a young talent like Osula. You are. Instead of giving that kid problem, let me tell you something. You'll never know. Now he could be a numpty, Osula, or he could be Alan Shearer. Who knows? Nobody knows. But You'll never know until you
I
give him
know.
the opportunity. Nobody cared about Haaland.
I know right now,
Nobody gave a damn
right
about.
here, right now, that
Nobody
Willis
cared about.
Sula will never be another Alan Shearer. There you
Well,
go.
let me tell you something. Let me tell you. Nobody knew. Nobody cared about Haaland. He had to go to Borussia Dortmund. He had to go to other clubs, Groningen, all those numpty clubs, before he got to the Premier League. So I'm just saying, nobody knew. Nobody knew, and you will never know unless you give, because you're overshadowing the kid. He already doesn't get opportunities right now when we
No
don't
man,
have
no. Okay, so
when we
let's be calm and settle down.
no. But let me tell you, we don't have a center forward right now
I
at this moment.
I completely agree that Asula should have been on the pitch against Everton. We haven't got an argument there.
Yeah. So, but the thing is, he's not even getting minutes now. Imagine with Callum Wilson on available. Imagine with Isak available. He will never see the light of day, which is unbelievable to me. Why is he even on the pitch? But I mean, on
Why
the
have we bought him? Exactly.
yeah. So, but it's unfair. It's unfair. But so with this injury record, it should be good. It should be good reason enough to just say,
Christopher, life's unfair.
no. But listen, if you want the team to move forward, or what do you want? A team that's a mediocre team? No, you gotta make the right moves, man. Um, Ginger Hoskins says Christopher Hallen has had 30 plus goals everywhere he's played. Osula has never scored. He's never going to turn into a goal scorer. By the way, Osula is 11 years old. Hallen is a established footballer. So you comparing them now to it makes no sense. Let's compare them at that age. By the way, not everything is it's black and white, because one had an
No.
opportunity at other clubs.
Yeah,
Also,
but Holland was scoring goals when he was 21.
again, now I understand that. I just put that as an example, though. I mean, he could be a good center forward. He could be a Peter Crouch for all we know, who some people are didn't like, but he was playing at Liverpool, was playing for England. He was scoring. He was scoring crazy goals, by the way, for a man his size.
But,
But
but, but far better England centre forward than most people give him credit for.
oh, exactly. So what I'm saying is, he could be somebody, but you'll never know unless you give him time. You got to give him time. But we do got a question there from Stephen Harker. Can you turn up to work only 2 days out of 5, do brilliant job, and expect a full wage and job satisfaction? Exactly, Stephen Harker, Stevie boy. Because the mighty win thinks he's old school though. He's old school. He thinks like the good players that he's still in the era where players used to go drink a pint before the match, drink a plate of ravioli, and lasagna, and they just go to play, smoke a cigarette in between breaks. When we were when the players that were attacking the defenders were lighting up a tab, drinking the goalkeeper was drinking a shot of whiskey. It's the football has changed, man. Football has changed, mighty win. You got to move on with the times, brother. You can't just, he's still from the school that the best player doesn't work, doesn't do anything. He just doesn't train. He just shows up on game time. That doesn't work like that, man. You are doing a disgrace to the young man of Sula. And an old man like yourself should know better, man.
You are doing a disgrace to me, young man.
No, you are putting all your eggs in the Callum Wilson basket,
No,
man.
I'm not. I'm doing the opposite. I'm saying we should go and buy another striker. We should have bought another striker last summer. We should have bought another striker the summer before, because it was apparent the summer before that they were both made of glass.
Yeah, but according to you, not a lot of strikers are better than Wilson. So who do we need to get? Haaland.
Well,
Or
somebody better than Chris Wood. But look at what Chris Wood's doing now.
But Chris Wood is more a more. I mean, he's not a young lad. He's you already see what you're going to get with. So yeah, I do agree.
Yeah, with Chris Wood, you get 10 goals a season minimum.
Yeah, and Callum Wilson is the same. So you tell me who's better.
Callum Wilson by a million man.
Okay, well, that I'm just saying, man. I just hate to see a young lad.
When fit.
Okay, well, that when you say that,
And
it
that's
breaks
the big, obviously that's the big elephant in the room. He's not fit often enough. The best ability is availability.
Look at Rita. Take it, man. You back for your vacation yet, man?
I've
We've been
done it
needing you,
years,
man.
actually.
We've been needing you. But if you're on vacation chatting, appreciate that, mate. Says
No, I think
that's a lovely T-shirt. Yeah, man. That's a Pro T-shirt right there. Mighty Win, we're the same, man.
where are you watching this, Amrit?
He's on his phone, man. What are you talking about?
No, he didn't go till Thursday.
Well, he still brought his phone. He can see us on his phone.
On his foot. I thought he said from home. I said, no, he must be watching it around the pool or something.
Yeah. It shows dedication, though. Amrit. Still on holiday, back tomorrow, says Amrit. There you go. Pro. Please hit the like button if you don't mind. Hit the like button. We're just having a canny discussion. If we were at the pub, you know what I mean? And unfortunately, I don't do it. I try to be easy. I try to give the old man the assist, but he just bottles it, man, every time. And unfortunately, people are voting right there. But you've gained some votes though. You're 8% right now, so that's good. Yeah, just anyways. Alexander Isak and Callum Wilson, by the way, are both set to be involved with the first team training next week in our own course to be in the matchday squad for Brighton. No setbacks as it stands right now, according to Craig Hope and the Daily Mail. So that's a good thing. We're going to get them back for the first time in a very long time. I can't remember.
Long time.
Can't remember. Well, don't worry though. That's going to go back to. We're going to be back in norm in regular form. Callum Wilson's regular form is not being in form. Simple as. So that you'll see something happen within the next. I will give him a month. Unfortunate, but I give him a month until he's not fit again. But would you ever play two strikers together?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So you would play Callum Wilson starting up front, and then Isak like a behind him or something like a loose
Yeah.
nine.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, but you have to change formation.
I would play him in the position where he scored all of his good goals, all of his best goals for Newcastle, picking the ball up outside the box and doing his magic. That's what he's brilliant at. Callum Wilson can't do that.
Even
he
if you
can't
pay.
do what Isak can do on the ball.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not even as though this season, before he got injured, Isak wasn't getting those balls. That last season he was finishing with a plum, and this season he ain't.
But if you're gonna play with those two strikers, then
I'm not saying play it all the time, but
but
certainly
no, but I will give it a try though. I will give it a try. I
play
would
it against the lesser clubs.
That would also give Asula an opportunity, a lot more opportunities, because
Yeah,
eventually somebody's gonna have to come off. I don't think that Wilson's legs are strong enough to sustain being a starter every match.
I agree.
But it would be something interesting to try. And we're gonna, I'll tell you what we're gonna do right now. We're gonna put, do the lineup right and see what we would do with two strikers. I'm interested to see how that performs. How the team will perform. Jake
But we're
Kirkman.
talking against Brighton.
No, 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 not against Brighton. Just in general. No, we'll do the preview for that. We're just talking in general, because we always get back to the same thing. Eddie will never change the formation, so we're gonna see what we can do here. Jake Kirkton says Callum Wilson will make an impact this season, no doubt. He did well 2 seasons ago. I know he's made of Papa Doms, but somehow feel positive about him coming back with the appointment of Buns. Yeah, Bones was appointed before he got a back injury, I think. But let me tell you something. We playing Isak with a toe injury in the super beginning of the season. I don't know
Unless Bunce has got a magic wand, he ain't going to be able to fix Callum's injuries, I don't think.
Colton says, well, they're not passing to Isak enough. I agree with you. They're not.
Well, they're passing to him plenty.
No, 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 no. If Gordon
And
is not having a
he's cocking them up. He hasn't.
no, you do a company. See that again? We get into the same agenda. The same agenda. Something you have against Isak.
I've got
Something is
nothing
happening.
against Isak.
You don't like Swedish people, maybe that's what's happening. But something is going. Well, do you like?
I love Swedish people.
You like crap? Would they be what you call them, Scandinavians or whatever?
Yep.
Oh, so everybody. So that's Norway,
Norway,
Denmark.
Denmark, Sweden, Finland, Iceland.
All of those are the Vikings.
The Vikings, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. So, which we do have a song of the Mighty Wind. We don't have it on this system of the Mighty Wind singing for Isak, because that's what he is, the Mighty Wind. He's a pancake. When Isak scores, he celebrates and he thinks he's the best striker in the world. But when he, according to him, is bottling his opportunities, he goes against them. But
Yeah, 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 yeah.
so so let's take a look at the. Let me see. Oh, wait a minute. Let's take a look at this right here, oh man. Um, how could we fit a Callum Wilson in the system without taking Barnes out, Gordon, well Murphy, that's fine, but if you got to put, we're going to take Murphy out because he'll have to come out regardless. We'll just do this quickly. By the way, Callum Wilson is in the hospital,
Well,
so we will have to. Do you change formations first of all?
I would change formation. I would do what he still hasn't tried consistently.
I would do this. This is how simple it is. Look, bang. Now you got 12 players, brother. Wait, that's it. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah. So we're gonna have to take somebody out though. And the thing is, you would probably put Isak over here probably. But see, so it'd probably be Barnes though,
No,
because
no.
that's it.
I would have Gordon on the left wing without a doubt.
Well, yeah, but and then you would take Barnes.
Play 4-2-4-1.
Who's the two? Bruno.
Bruno and Tonali.
All right, and then
Barnes on the right.
you take Joe Linton off. You got 12 players here, man. You can't have 12 players.
Yeah, well, in that case, I would take J7 off. Yeah.
Oh, what? Oh my! You have zero.
But what I'm saying is,
Oh
you
my!
play that
Time out, man.
you play that against the weaker sides.
This
Against the
man,
stronger sides, we need J7 in the middle of the park.
this man right here has said, "I would never line up a team without J7 on the team," and he's the first one you take off. I hate to be your friend, man. I'm telling you, I hate it. But okay, so you're gonna take Joe Linton off. The easiest would be Harvey Barnes. I don't want that to happen, but Well, first of all, this is never going to happen.
Well, but the point is, you could do what you're saying. You could have J7 on the left and Gordon on the right. But then I think you're defeating the object of having the two up front.
You have to take one out. So, but I think Jolene, somebody's got to be. You say four. I play with 4-2-3-1. That's my favorite lineup ever. I would definitely do. Isak would have to be here playing behind Wilson, and Gordon can be on the left, or you probably take Joe Link, to be honest, if you want to have uh, the better chances. But then
Well,
you really think
you could have Bruno and J7 in the middle and Tonali on the right, I suppose.
for who? For Gordon.
Because
Now,
bear in mind, with that lineup, you've got Trips who also gets up and puts crosses in.
but this position right here is more of a. It's just a winger. I mean, he stays here to help out, but he is still a winger though. So I mean, you can put Tonali in there, but
Now, Anthony Gordon has to play a left wing.
well, you can give Barnes a try on the right wing. I don't care about that.
But no, what I'm saying is you could put J7 back in the middle.
Yeah, who you're taking off?
You're taking Barnes off and putting Tonali up the right wing.
I don't think tonight.
Except that it's not a right wing as such, because Isak's going to play there as well.
Yeah. So it would essentially still be a 4-3-3 though. I mean, because
No,
tonight,
it's not. It's a 4-2-3-1.
well, that's where we get into those conversations. But
But I would have Gamara's on the right, because as we know, if you switch Bruno and Gamara's, as we know, Trips, Gamara's, and in the past it's been Miggy doing those triangles. Can you imagine Tonali doing those triangles instead of Miggy with his extra technical ability to actually be able to do something without always having to cut in? Because he could swing the ball in with his right, no trouble at all.
yeah, he can do it, but he's not gonna do that proper.
He's not. He isn't a right winger.
Yeah, yeah. But just something to talk about there. To be honest, I don't think it's going to happen. So we're just stuck in rubbish. To be fair, I think that Callum Wilson will be a sub. I think Eddie, as much as he praised him, as much as all that, he still thinks he's just a sub. And we'll go from there. Sorry, excuse my little shirtless boy here going over there.
We had a little red Indian in before,
Yeah.
sneaking in the background.
Okay. So yeah, those two strikers are supposed to come back at any point and give them to another person that we need to talk about.
No,
Is
that's a point, by the way. Am I allowed to say that in America now, red Indian? Or do you have to say Native American?
people use Native American, but Red Indian, that's fine with me. Listen, you're not talking to somebody that gives a damn. So, um, I don't, man. Listen, I've been called worse, and so I'm not soft, man. I've been in military. I've seen things that are a bit tougher than people get offended with nowadays. Grim Bailey saying that Newcastle United may have to offer Fabian Schär a multi-year contract to keep him at St. James's Park. What do you think? I'll be right back.
Fabian Schär, I would definitely give him a year. Whether I would give him 2 years or not, I don't know. And if a year's not enough for him, if he thinks he can do better somewhere else, I'd be inclined to say, well, thank you very much for all your work here. One of the best pound per pound player that we've ever bought. 3 million quid in the service we've had out of Fab Share has been nothing short of outstanding. But he's a player. He works for wages. And if he could go somewhere else and get a 3-year deal, which is giving him 3 years more money on, 3 years more on proper money, then that's what he'll be looking for. Or do his football ambitions And would the fact that he thinks Newcastle are on the verge of something and he could be part of that, if only for a year? And of course, when you offered him the year's contract, you'd be saying sort of, and obviously if you do the business, there's the possibility of an extension and see how that sat with him. But I'm sure if we want to offer him just a year, which, like I say, is all I would offer him, I'm sure there'll be other clubs who would offer him longer than a year, but probably not on the money that he's going to get for the year with us. If you multiply the 3 years by what he'll get by the 1 year what he'll get here, obviously it'll probably be more. But in the short term, he's going to make more money here. So
Yeah,
that's where I stand on that one.
probably sure is
But
a
I don't know how
really.
much of that you heard without your lugs on. What I'm saying is I would offer him a year, and if he was offered 3 years somewhere else, I would shake his hand to thank you very much for all your hard work.
Well,
Good
to be
luck.
honest, there's a couple of things to take in consideration here. Where Eddie, by bringing or trying or wanting to bring in Mark Gay, which doesn't seem like that pursuit is going to stop anytime soon, and we'll probably continue to do that in the winter. Try to get him in the summer, if not, and continue to do that. Then he will be if just by everything shown by Eddie, Mark Gay, if he comes to Newcastle, he will be a starter for Newcastle United. As simple as that. Um, I think he can play either way, either side. I don't think there's any issues with that. But it just, but if you have Botman who performs,
Well, this is the other big question. Is Botman going to be the same player when he comes back?
I mean, I would give, I wouldn't want to, I wouldn't want Shar to go, but it's about personal preference. Whether
No,
I
but
don't,
again, we've got 7 players, I think we've got altogether out of contract in the summer. So they are all free to talk to clubs from January.
but according to Grim Bailey, that Shar's camp doesn't just want to go a year on a, he feels like he wants that he's worth multi-year deal, not just on a
Yeah,
year.
well, and what I'm saying is I wouldn't give him one.
Okay. Not on a yearly basis. Why though? Because Shar is not. I mean, he's older, but he's not like an old guy. He's not injury
Well, he
prone.
is.
He's he's
He
33, man. That's not old. He's still, very seasoned, a veteran. He's still performing at a high level, like literally. You know. So
not as he's not performing as well as he was performing last year or the year before. You
you
can
wouldn't
argue
give.
that that's because the team's not, but he's part of that team.
Yeah, but he's the only one that's actually making some long passes and pushing the offense and the attack, and
Yeah,
he's
yeah, I
he's
agree.
is one of the only ones. Everybody else don't have no creativity other than Harvey Barnes. Um,
No, you and Harvey Barnes, man, give it one.
Harvey Barnes is the one that can change the game, and simple as that.
Harvey Barnes is a good goal scorer.
Well, he's
Got
a
a
good
good
player.
shot.
He's a good player.
Apart from that, he's pretty limited.
No, no,
He's
no,
got
no.
no pace.
No,
He's
that
got
doesn't
no.
need that
He,
pace. What
he,
about the game?
he's
The players that think the
he's
game.
got no pace. He's got no tricks.
What? No tricks, Harvey Barnes. Please help me. Come on, man. This nonsense cannot continue, man. What?
Well,
That's
how
how
tell me what tricks he's got in his box.
he can clearly clear out any defender that
No,
he's.
all he can do is cut in and shoot.
And you think that's easy?
I don't think it's easy. No, I'm saying he's very good at doing that.
You're just let me tell you something. Anthony Gordon, I can pull in the same agenda with Anthony Gordon.
No,
All he can,
Anthony going and beat a man. He's got
all,
electric pace.
all Anthony Gordon can do is run, outrun people, and dribble the ball. I can be mean as well. I can put at that agenda. Anthony
No,
Gordon.
no, but hang on.
Anthony Gordon does.
And score goals. He outscores Harvey Barnes.
Well, he didn't have the Harvey Barnes didn't have the opportunity. We'll see when both have the opportunity. Who's got more goals now that they're both been playing in the same season? Uh, think about
Well,
it.
Harvey Barnes has got more this season. We've only scored 7, for God's sake.
Yeah, well, there you go. Gordon has scored now, other than a penalty. Well, not even a penalty. Well, one penalty, but the other one he missed. So when you get into
A
the
penalty that he got himself.
okay, that's fine. He can dribble. He can out dribble people. He's fast. But what is this all
Right,
amazingness?
okay. Why is Anthony Gordon getting selected for England and Harvey Barnes isn't?
There's no left wing. And
He
by the
is left
way,
wing. That's where you want him to play.
no, Harry Barnes is a 10. Harry Barnes can play. Harry Barnes is a different player, man. And by the way, you're using that. You were debating me on Margay because, well, he just played good for England. I mean, this is just, you can't buy a player just playing good for England, and now you're using the England stuff for Gordon. Come on, man. Have some convictions, man.
Well, when I
No,
was taught, well, you're
no,
conflating
no, no,
multiple
no, no.
issues.
You've told me before we shouldn't give Margay is not generational. He's not all that just simply because he played one
I said
tournament for
he's
England.
not 70, he's certainly not 70 million quid.
Okay, but you're saying you're using the England the England thing for Gordon, and you don't use the England reasoning for you use and you don't use that for Gay.
Right.
So you can't go.
I tell you the way you can do that comparison is offer me another English centre back, like for example, Branthwaite, who also, by the way, I'm not madly overboard on, but I think Branthwaite is a better centre half than Gay.
No,
And Branthwaite isn't getting picked for England, and Gay is.
that's personal preference, though. I mean, I mean, I don't know how you could if you can say you don't rate Braithwaite, and you're gonna say that he's better than Gay. The agenda is very transparent.
No. What I'm saying is, as far as English centre backs is concerned, we've got very few good ones at the minute. Very few good ones. You know, but the beauty about being in the Premier League is they don't have to be English.
Yep. And well, look, I think Gordon and Harvey Barnes can play in the same team, and I think that Harvey Barnes is a very good player, very good signing, very talented, very skillful. See, nowadays in today's game, everybody just talk about running. Everybody wants. We need to go to the Olympics and bring all those fast runners into the game. Like what happened to Usain Bolt when he decided to play football? Knackered. Um, and we just gotta pause ourselves for a minute and think the game. The ball runs faster than a human being. And Harvey Barnes is a thinker. He poses the ball. He looks around, either shoots, passes. He a really good player, really good performer. Instead of just running like a chicken with your head cut off, hoping you beat people. Yeah, you outrun people. You outrun
So
people.
who's got an agenda now?
No, I don't. I'm just explaining what Harvey Barnes' game is. Everybody's got different games. I don't know. It's the same thing with Isak. You don't like Isak, okay? Personal preference. He's got a different game.
No, I do like Isak.
He's got a different game than Wilson, than any other, than Alan Shearer. He still scores the same goals. He scored. He was almost there. He was competing with Haaland last season. We talked about it already. He's just a different, performs differently. There's nothing wrong with being different, man. As long as you do what you're supposed to do, which is score goals, assist, like Harvey Barnes is doing.
Harvey Barnes is your love child, and Isak's your stepson. Let's just
No,
move on.
no. All right. Well, look. Well, we were on Char's topic, so we kind of, you say you wouldn't give him 2 years. Um, I don't see anything wrong with 2 years. I don't think 2 years is going to be is really that detrimental. I mean, 2 years, man. 2 years or 1 year. I
Well,
think.
if he's going to be, he's going to want at least 100 grand a week. So that's 5 million a year. So
Mhm.
if you give him a 2-year contract, it's costing you 10 million. If in the 5 year, in order, this is in order to keep him. If you do the sums, if it's 120 grand, it's 6 million, so on and so forth, depending on how much he wants, how greedy his agent is going to get. So you were saying multiple year. By multiple year, I thought you were talking about more than 2 years. I would certainly be happy to offer him a 2-year deal. But there would be conditions. And the conditions would be, for example, the second year kicks in if we qualify for Europe or if we win a trophy. And if we don't, the second year goes out the window. Now, if
Mhm.
he's happy to sign for that and to play for his place and to make sure we achieve those objectives, fantastic. Give him 150 grand a week. But if
Yeah.
he wants to take the easy option and get a 3-year deal somewhere else at less money,
I,
good luck to him.
yeah, that's gonna be the toughie. That's gonna be a toughie. No Everton, pun intended. It's gonna be a tough one because I do think Sharp.
I wouldn't just give him a 2-year deal open ended because there's no incentive for him to do anything. You know my blueprint for players' wages, 10 grand a week and 100 grand a point.
Yeah, but I think Shar's been probably our most productive player this season. Surprisingly enough,
No,
and
no, not
and productive. But hold on, and productive is not going into the stats. I don't care about the stats. I care about what I see on the pitch. And the only player when we're playing horrible that tries to do something all the way from the back is Fabian Schär. He has been
yeah.
dangerous, and a few times just people hadn't scored. That people don't see. That doesn't count for the stat on the stat sheet. People just didn't score. And also, he had one opportunity against was it Everton? That he no, not Everton. No, sorry, it was Wimbledon maybe. Wimbledon, he had it, yeah, right there. He could have shot and scored. He's got that threat. Scored a penalty as well. I just don't see the difference 1 or 2 years. Now signing 3 years, all of that stuff. I mean, yeah, I mean, I guess you can, but he has to understand as well. Don't know that he will get though. I mean, you think about it. Just Newcastle's project. Where is he going to go to have the similar feel? Feel Aston
Well,
Villa.
he's not. He's going to be if he moves from Newcastle, he will definitely be taking a step down. He could move back to Switzerland, whatever, and
Yeah, that would be a personal move then.
yeah, yeah. And
Not
like I
much.
say, I would just shake his hand and wish him well. But
Yeah,
if he stays in England, he's gonna, be playing for. He's not going to be playing for Champions League places.
no, no, no. So it'll be a topic to keep an eye on, to say the least. Moving forward, breaking the Premier League has now conceded to all clubs that there is no quick fix to the legal dispute with Man City over the rules governing commercial deals between clubs and related parties per time sport. Not sure. That's it's
Let's
just
mark our own homework. What basically what they're saying there is there's no chance of getting these rules changed at the meeting next week. So Newcastle United right now have a window to go and do deals for whatever they want to do them for, with no supervision at all. We'll mark our own homework and say yes, they are value deals. Da di da di da. Let's just do it. That's what I'd be doing right now if I was in charge at Newcastle. And if they try and challenge them, see you in court, Bonnie lad. You know what happened the last time.
Jordy Dan says the Premier League rattled. Let's get these mega deals in now. Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
So there won't be no rule change by next week, possibly. But um, my
It could take months. Could take months for to get these rules
I
changed.
I just cannot see it. It might happen. It might open.
There's going to be lawyers arguing among themselves for weeks on end at £1,000 an hour. No, because if we do that, they'll do that. If we do that, they'll do that. If we do that, they'll do that. And they're all nonsense anyway. The reason PSR was brought in was to stop clubs going bust. In no way Newcastle are going bust. In no way Man City are going bust. Plenty of reason to think that Man United may go bust if all of their backers pull out and they
I,
can't pay their wages and they can't pay the tax bill and they can't pay their debt
It's
loans.
crazy. I just don't see. I mean, yeah, you can do it. If we get a deal like that, I don't see why they would, unless it's totally, illegitimate. But something that makes sense, I don't see how they could come at us. I think it would be a nice payback to the Premier League. And I could agree with your take on that. However, I do agree with your take, but I just don't see Newcastle doing it. I think Newcastle are playing it safe. They don't want to have any mud on them. Um, some fans are not liking that. Some fans do think, they we need directors that when they see something so blatant like what we saw in these emails to go at them and say, "What the hell is going on here?" We're no punks. We're not just gonna get walked over like that. It's clear on the papers. And so some fans want directors that will go and ask for an answer. With everything that's going on with Darren Neals, not really. I mean, I know he's in charge, but we know how that can work. He's got to worry about himself, obviously. Who else is in charge? PIF, Al Rumayyan. Who's that middleman? Al Rumayyan's got to have a man under him that maybe is who is it? Paul Mitchell.
But it's
Can't tell you that.
unpronounceable for me. I can't remember it. And I can look it up and tell you
But
who it
is
was.
he the one? Has Al Romayan said, "Okay, let me send Darren this guy that is with you all the time. That way he's learning the
All
ropes."
I would say, it's very noticeable that when the shit hits the fan at the tune, who's in the plane coming over here,
Al
sitting in St
Romayan.
James's Park? The
Al
main man.
Romayan. Yeah, but is he the one that's going to go to these meetings?
No, no.
Exactly. So
Well, I don't know who'll be going for us because obviously Darren Neals is
well, there you go.
unfortunately ill. But
There you
so
go. So that's the biggest question. So fans do want some type of answer, some type of reaction to what we've been seeing. But some say that that let everybody else do the work. But at some point, when you're named and you're being pointed out, and these rules are made by you, if you don't respond, do everybody else think you're a punk? You know that
well,
it's
Man City can rightly turn round and say, why the hell should we be doing all the heavy carrying for the rest of you wankers?
well that could definitely be as well. And I don't know if they haven't there hasn't been conversations between Man City and Newcastle.
Well, I tell you, my super big conspiracy theory. You know
I
what that
guarantee,
is?
I guarantee you that they've had conversations between
No, no.
Newcastle.
My conversation is that if they go on about the Gulf countries and the countries companies based in the Gulf region.
And that's it.
Who's the big daddy of the Gulf region?
Saudi Arabia. Which
Exactly.
they're all big daddies, to be fair.
No, 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 no.
Yeah,
Saudi is
I
the big.
understand.
Saudi is the biggest daddy of the lot. They're little pygmies by comparison.
They are, but I
And if
mean,
one of the big white chiefs in one of the tribes of Saudi Arabia just had a little phone call to the top bod in Abu Dhabi and says, "Listen, pal, can you do us a favor? We're having a bit bother here. Can you just take the Premier League to court, please?"
interesting comment. Stephen Hargis says, "Be buzzing if Newcastle stance was to refuse to attend through them being unlawful." Um, could Newcastle say you didn't invite us the first time? I'm not going to show up this time because apparently we're not
No, because this is just a regular um, CAO meeting. It's not specifically.
interesting
Uh,
there. Interesting there by Beer Viking says, "Don't be fooled. Man City aren't our friends. They are simply creating a legal precedence for their 115 charge case."
no, it's got nothing to do with the 115 cases. So
Yeah, but it's still like
that's spurious. But in any event, the enemy of our enemy is our friend.
yeah. I was thinking about that as well, though. I was thinking, I mean, it just by default
The,
because of who we're
well,
owned by.
well, by default, the conspiracy theory along those lines is that these unlawful rules, Man City can prove that these unlawful rules have cost them £190 million. So they could potentially sue the Premier League for £190 million.
Hmm.
So are there talks going on behind the scene right now between Man City and the Premier League saying, look, this £190 million that we're going to sue you for, and which you know, because of that ruling that's just been made, we are going to win. How's about we take another gander at those 115 breaches of rules that you've made in the past? So that's another
It will be.
avenue that could be currently being pursued. I've got no proof of it at all, just my gut feeling that the 190 million figure has been brought out. So what happened was, as you know, I looked into all this very, very deeply last week, and the Premier League, Man City announced their victory, proving the laws were unlawful. Immediately, the Premier League came out and issued a statement and said, whoa, 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 whoa. No, we won the victory. We won the victory. All Man City succeeded in was proving that two, or actually it was three, I think, three of the points that they had brought up out of the 17 or something were unlawful. But the tribunal backed the overriding principles involved with APT, because this was all about APT, not PSO. Backed the overriding objective of that directive. And so we won. So, and then they sent a letter to all the Premier League clubs explaining that.
Do you?
So when Man City received that letter, their CEO sent his own letter to all the 20 Premier League clubs saying, whoa, don't listen to this bullshit that the Premier League are telling you in this letter. We can prove that those unlawful rules have cost us, and this is where the figure came out, £190 million. And if they continue to try and uphold these laws, we will be suing the Premier League for £190 million.
Mm.
Who's going to pay? Who's going to pay that £190 million? Well, Man City are going to pay a 20th of it, but all of you lot are going to be paying the rest, by the way, and all of the legal costs involved. And they've already said that the costs associated with that teeny little arbitration panel that was on last week was £45 million for Man City, and presumably at least the same for the Premier League. So there's another 90 million that's been thrown in the pot.
Do you believe in the Epic saying that we sat and waited for Man City's result? Now we will make moves in the coming weeks. 100%. I don't think so. I think Newcastle are just staying in the shadows. But
sorry, where's that come from?
No. I mean, that's his opinion. That's his opinion.
Whose?
Epic and UFC. That right here.
Epic and UFC. Never heard of him.
Mate, he's a commentator. He's commenting. He's saying that.
Oh, right. Sorry, in the chat, you mean?
Yeah.
We sat and waited for the City result. Now
Sorry, Epic. You've been watching us for a while. What the hell? But you think that Newcastle will make a move? Is what he's trying to say. I don't think so. Like I said, I think we'll stay in the shadows. But
I think it very much depends on what happens next week.
Yeah, well, we'll have to keep an eye on that. Yeah, you're right. It could something drastic could happen.
I think there's every likelihood that they're going to go. They're going to completely redraw the rule books so that the rules are designed as they were initially designed to do, which was to make sure that clubs didn't spend more than they earn, and therefore put themselves in a position where they could go bust. That's what they were brought in for originally. And then all of a sudden, because there was new kids on the blocks and they were massively increasing their revenue, which, by the way, is all revenue into football, which eventually trickles down. If you compare transfer windows historically since this FFP was introduced, the amount of money spent in transfer windows is sort of paled in insignificance compared to what it used to be. And what happens then is, if we go for it, if we go and pay 60 million for Mbeumo for the sake of argument, Brentford need a replacement, so they might go and find the best right winger they think there is in the Championship, and that club will know that Brentford have got 60 million burning a hole in their pocket, so they might get 30 million for a player that they previously would have got 20 million for. And then that club needs a one, so they get a one from further down the pyramid, and so it goes on. As soon as the big money stops coming in the top end, there's none of it trickles down.
Yeah, we'll have to see what happens next week. I agree that that's going to be a definite good. Well, we'll see if the outcome is good out of the meeting or what comes out. To be honest, we don't never know what's going to be talked there until somebody, filters that out to the media. So we'll say, when is that? When was it? Tuesday,
I think
Wednesday?
it's Wednesday.
Oh, Wednesday's Who's the Twat, man. Well, we can have a show on that on Thursday, but not really
Yeah.
though because we got a preview on Thursday. So, but we'll definitely have a show on that situation. Maybe we'll pull up a daily show or something. Is an emergency show. Last but not least,
Emergency meeting.
last emergency meeting. That's that Tinyware transport flashback in 1980. Make the going easy integrated public transport at Walls End interchange, both bus and metro, in matching Tinyware PTE corporate colors. Do you remember this, Mighty Wayne, back in the day?
Well, except that's not Wall's End, is it?
Man, I just read you the fact, man. I don't know where the pictures come from.
Oh, mate, wait a minute. It could be. It looks more like. I thought it was Baker Bridge, but it's not. Yeah, it could be Wall's End.
The metro,
Was it Metro? Yeah. I built all of
What?
that.
Ah,
Took all the tunnels for the Metro.
come on, man.
Shifted all them
It's
up.
a show where you're not gonna try to flex, man. What's the matter with you? Come on, man. Panasonic. Look at that bus. Go looking bus. Two-story bus though. That's interesting for a metro.
That's Chris. That's called a double decker bus.
A two-story bus, man.
A 2-story bus.
Good. But I've seen those in I've seen those in like you've driven around.
Two-story bus. It's a
I've
double
seen
decker bus.
I've seen those in London. I've
They're
seen a
all
lot
over
of,
the country, man.
no, but I'm just telling you from my perspective, man.
Mhm.
Uh, but here in the United States, they have the ones that you can tour around and stuff, but without the top roof. You can just ride around and stuff for,
Two-story bus. I love
for
it.
tourism. But so look at that, man. So people, that's not in service no more, is it?
Oh, we are?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the same yellow bus.
Well, no, that looks like
It's a PTE bus, man. Look at that, Chapel
yeah. No,
House.
I'm talking about the make of the bus, man.
Yeah, no, but I
That
mean, look,
looks like one of the old. Anyway, yeah, but there's still double decker buses in service.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
they
the
are.
yellow and everything. Is that the color?
Uh,
I'm talking about the same like Metro, like
yeah. The metro's the same color. Buses are, but the point is,
the
back in the
different.
day, then all of the bus services were run by the city council. So they were all the same colour. They were all the same livery. Now the bus service is all being privatised, so they're all in different hands. So yes, there's still
Okay.
some that
And
are
that was
yellow,
and it was
but
train and bus.
yeah.
Interesting. See, we don't use trains here no more, man. We just civilized people. We
Well,
just
that's our subway, man. That goes
yeah,
underground once it gets to the city
man.
centre.
We're civilized people, man. We just get cars. We don't need trains and stuff like old people do, man. But no, actually, if you go to New York, I mean, there's a lot of subways here in America. But
Alexa, shut up.
there you go.
I must have said something that triggered Alexa there.
Yeah.
Then I'm starting to get a
You,
history
you,
lesson off
you say you say a lot of things that trigger a lot of people. But that's a good one, you see. Yeah, man, pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool stuff. Every time I see something like this, I just share it because I love history and interesting, good stuff. Double story, a two story,
Double decker,
a two-story bus, man. Good stuff. Proba, proba,
two-story bus.
proba. Anyways, thank you so much for your support. It's been a great show. Been a really good show today.
Well,
We're
there's Stephen Hawker in the
there.
chat there.
You
You
won't win.
won't win. Did you watch the Michael McIntyre clip I sent on the forum
No.
about the American language?
Oh, I didn't watch that one. I didn't watch it.
No, because you see, you've had to change our language.
Yeah, we just had to talk regular, man. We
You
talk good. We
see,
talk proper.
so we walk. You know, we have roads and pavements, so we walk on pavements. But the Americans couldn't handle pavements, so they decided they would have to change the name to sidewalk because pavement is where you walk on the side of the road. Apparently, there was people getting killed, saying, no, why can we not walk here? Because you have to be on the sidewalk. And then you have things like, I've got my glasses on, but in America, when glasses were first invented, you were people buying glasses and they were putting them on their knees and saying, I can't see any better, and putting them on their back, say, I can't see any better. So no, you got to put them on your eye. So, oh well, why don't we call them eyeglasses? You see, so then you have to put them on your eyes to see through them, because glasses wasn't enough for you. And then the daddy of them all, we say we go horse riding, but Americans, that's not specific enough for Americans, you see. So they have to go horseback riding. So, but because first of all, when they first started riding horses, they were trying hang on to their tail and jump on their neck, and also no, on the back. All right, horseback riding. Yeah, now I get it. And then they became quite good at it.
Not funny. We
Not funny.
we speak we speak we
Same with
speak
these two-story buses.
we speak proper English over here, man. We speak the freeman's English. The freeman's English. We're not tied down, bowed down to people.
Have you got a waste paper basket there?
No.
We call that a bin, but that's
Yeah,
not good enough for you. You've got to
trash,
know.
it's a trash can.
What do we put in? We put paper in.
It's a
But
trash.
then they were putting brand new bits of paper. No, waste paper, only waste paper. So then
We,
it became a waste
we,
paper basket.
we, we talk proper, man. We go get a drink to drink.
I'm not telling him about you ordering your. The number of times he'll ring me from in his car when he's at a takeaway drive-through, right?
At this time, man,
And
from
he'll
work.
say, "I'll have 2 ton of this and 3 ton of that, and a water to drink." And I'm saying, "Well, what the hell else are you going to do with it?
Everybody does that here, man. And what is the drink?
A water to drink, eh?
Yeah, man. That's the way. It's just proper
Are they going
English.
to give you some water to wash the car, or
Yeah.
no, water to drink, eyeglasses, horseback riding, sidewalk."
Anyways, folks, thank you so much for your support. Smash the like button. We'll be back. No show tonight. This was our show today. Tomorrow we'll come up with something, of course, to entertain you. But for more content, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, hit that bell for notifications. Sometimes it works. Sometimes YouTube is wonky and unreliable as the mighty wind. Well, no,
Oh, mash,
what
get smash.
one thing you cannot say about the mighty wind, he is reliable though. He is sometimes when he tries to go on a damn vacation, on that vacation week and the next week following, man, he was off the rails. He was in London. He was traveling. He was going to see his team, home. His birth team, football team, Wimbledon. He was going to, he was doing all kinds of things. But now we've got him sorted. We got him back on track. But anyways, folks, thank you so much for your support. We'll see you tomorrow. Cheers. Bye bye.
How are you, the lads?